Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be going over yet another wig dyeing technique. Out of all the different techniques I've tried, this is one of my favorite, because instead of coating the fibers with color, it actually becomes one with the wig. So you're not left with that gritty texture the ink or paint will leave behind. A few things I should touch on before we start is firstly, your wig must be heat resistant. You're about to drop this thing into a pot of boiling water, so please be careful. Second, make sure the dye you're using is for synthetic fabrics. Your wig is made of plastic, so regular dyes won't work as well. RIT Dyemore and iDye Poly are the two dye brands I'd recommend, as they're both for synthetic materials. And lastly, make sure your wig is either white or lighter than the color you're aiming for. You can only go darker with dyes. Using a white base will give you the best results in the most vibrant colors. Now with that all out of the way, let's begin. Get yourself a pot large enough so that your wig can be completely submerged in the water. It is very important that you use a pot that you don't cook food in. The pot we're using is one we bought specifically for fabric and wig dyeing. Make sure any utensils you use are also only going to be used for this purpose. Once your water comes to a boil, turn down the heat to a simmer. Then you can add your dye and stir. Before dumping your wig into the water, it's a good idea to do some test swatches to make sure you're getting the color you want. The longer you leave it in the dye bath, the darker the color will get. Once you find the shade you like, it's time to dye your wig. Before putting it in the dye bath, run your wig under some cold water to get it wet. This helps the dye to stick to it more evenly. And once you've dropped it in, make sure to stir it continuously to ensure an even dyeing. When it's done, remove it from the dye and wash it with soap and cold water. The cold water will stop the dyeing process and the soap removes any lingering dye from your wig. Leave your wig to air dry for a bit, and once dry, you've got yourself a custom colored wig. Now after dyeing, your wig's gonna look really crazy, so you can smooth out the fibers by flat ironing them. In my case, I left my wig all frizzy and gnarled up because it was easier to spike like that. Anyway, that concludes how you dye a wig with fabric dye. If you have any questions or would like to see any other wig or cosplay related tutorials, leave a comment below with your suggestions. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you with your own wig adventures.